Okay, we're live here. Hey everyone, it's Fain Brandt with a LinkedIn bakery serving up bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. I'm going to take just a moment and share this Facebook Live to my personal page. There we are. Post. My timeline, here we go. Jump on over and catch our show on my business Facebook page. We are talking about getting our online life organized. So need this. Life organized. Okay. I think we are about ready to get started, so let me just start again. I'm Fain Brandt with a LinkedIn bakery, serving up bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. You can find my Facebook Live show here the first and third Wednesdays of the month at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on my business Facebook page. You know what? Jump on over to that page and like it and follow it to get notifications when I'm going live. I'm really excited. It's 2018, and I'm super excited for the new year because it's time, to set our goals and our plans for our business and our personal life. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And if you are watching the replay, go ahead and type replay in the comments because April and I will go back in and we will answer your questions and engage with you after the show. And during the show, if you have a specific question for April, just go ahead and type that in the comments and I'll share that with her and we'll see if we can get your questions answered. So April and I first met at HeraHub in Mission Valley. We are both Hubettes. That's what I call us. Yep. HeraHub members. HeraHub is a collaborative workspace for female entrepreneurs. And on a side note, I'm a HeraHub ambassador. So if you would like a free day pass, message me or just drop a comment in below and I can get you a pass there. So April and I met at HeraHub. She has guru hours there. She is a digital online organizing Jedi master. Sorry, I just gave you a new title.
Thank you.
The name of her company is Ilios Digital, right? Yep. Want to make sure I got that right. And I invited her on the show tonight to talk to us about how to organize our online life. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have things everywhere. And I know I have duplicate files. And I'm actually out of space on my computer. I keep getting a pop-up message like every 15 minutes. So I have to figure things out like now. So this Facebook show is spot on for me. I know that probably where I am going to be struggling, April, with my online stuff, besides getting organized, which you've helped with the email, and I know you're going to touch on something tonight that's going to help me, but it's like the videos, like where I should probably save those. So if you want to put that as a side note, because as we're all doing more videos and stuff, where do we keep those so we're not taking up space on our hard drive? So it's just something to think about as we're all jumping into this video online marketing world. So April and I have had a session before. She's come to my LinkedIn lab. We've done business with each other, and I think she's pretty fabulous and can really share some valuable tips with my audience here. So April has a few things she's going to go over tonight. And then April, I think at the end you had a special offer for the viewers, right?
Yep, certainly do.
Awesome. So viewers, we will post her special offer at the end of this broadcast. So Miss April, how do we organize the mess on our computers?
It's a never-ending task, I tell you, and I'm sure so many of us have that as a resolution for 2018, is I'm going to get organized this year. This is going to be the year that I do it, and
it's been on my list for 2 years.
Usually it's on my list, too.
Oh, good to know. Okay.
So, and I think even though it's sort of obvious, why do we all need to be organized? It's saving you time and frustration is probably the biggest issue. Like you had told me earlier, you have like 10 copies of some document.
Every time I open something, it downloads it. So I just realized, like, I have to go into my download folder and I need to empty that because that'll free up space, right?
It will. You're working out of iCloud, aren't you?
I don't know what I'm working out of.
Okay. I was dealing with that today with somebody. So, yes.
Tiffany says hi. Tiffany from Harahub.
Hello.
Yeah, so every time I open, like, something, it puts it in my download folder, like a PDF or something.
Yep.
So is that a settings thing that I can change?
It is. There's, and that's one of the things we'll talk about a little bit, is figuring out where things are supposed to go.
I probably jumped ahead.
You know, all this sort of relates to each other. Okay. So it all fits into the same bundle of information. When we talk about getting organized digitally, you've got kind of a couple different things. You've got kind of your traditional get your files and your folders organized, like you said, your videos. You know, where do you store them? Where do you store your photos and all of those things? And then there's also sort of the active life that you're living with like cloud services like Dropbox and G Drive and all your email accounts. And that's also something to get organized.
Yeah, I know. Email hell. I live in email hell. It's getting better, but I still have one account. April's been helping me clean up my emails and get rid of emails I don't need, because I rebranded. Excuse me. I rebranded last year, so my old business had 2 email addresses, and my new business had 2 email addresses. So we're trying to get that down to 1. I only want 1. And that's, you know, for so many of us, managing email is huge. And like I said, most of the email that's in your inbox can probably go away. I'm scared to let it go away.
I understand that. Some people are like the repository of information for their company and can't let it go because everybody else will suffer.
Right.
But that's kind of one of the things we talk about with getting organized, is we talk about figure out what your rules are. You know, okay, so I'm only going to keep emails from these people only for so long, and then they get thrown away. Kind of like that auto-archiving thing.
Right. So Tiffany says that she's having feedback, delayed voice when April talks. Not sure if it's just her.
Technical issues.
Gotta love tech. You guys all know what my saying is. Say it with me. I have a love-hate relationship with technology. I love it when it works, and I hate it when it doesn't. So, Tiffany, we're not quite sure why that's happening, because we are both hardwired. So we are actually not doing this on our wireless networks, because I do know to be hardwired when you are broadcasting, doing a Facebook Live show. So it might be a problem with Ecamm. I'm in a beta group with Ecamm, which allows you to bring in a guest. So I'm going to make a note of that. Tiffany, if it's still delayed, could you just write the word delayed and I'll know? And I apologize for that. I hope that it fixes itself.
And if it doesn't and you miss something, hit me up. I'm at all the locations for Hera each week.
Awesome.
So I can always do that.
Yeah, sorry to get off track. So I'm going to be monitoring the comments and making sure everything's going well from the viewer's standpoint.
Your standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, I saw you making a face, so I didn't know what the face was for. But I hoped it wasn't about organizing, that's for sure. But you had mentioned earlier with having the multiple email accounts, people have multiple email accounts attached to multiple cloud services. I worked with somebody today who's using Dropbox and Google Drive and iCloud, and had stuff from multiple businesses and personal life all over the place. And you got to kind of figure out what goes where. You know, maybe, so for example, Dropbox for me is my business stuff is in there.
And Google Drive, so on my business account, my Google Drive, like all my templates now are there, and the logos, the stuff that I have to send to people all the time. Like when I go to speak, they're like, can we have your logo? And can you share your templates that you promised our attendees? And could we have your bio or your headshot? So I've gotten smart, and I've moved all that into Google Drive in my business account.
And that's really sort of the purpose of cloud storage, is for those active documents.
Okay.
mentioning your videos. Once you've got videos made, if you're not going back and actively using them, maybe that's something you put onto offline storage, onto a hard drive or a USB drive, and make sure it's backed up first, put it someplace safe. That way you still have it, it's just not taking up all that space.
That's going to be a great project for my intern.
Yes.
Actually, one of the projects is getting my videos up on YouTube and getting them optimized. So, you know what? I think I'm just going to turn that over to them.
I think that's a good start. But before you do it, like we said, you got to make the rules about what goes where, how are things named.
So if it's not something I'm actively using, like once I do a video at this point, I'm not actively using it. I need them to be put up on YouTube. But after that project is done, I don't need them then.
No. And you can always, especially these days with stuff up in the cloud like YouTube and stuff, if you take your original, your master copy and take it offline into safe storage, then you can still get access to it if you needed to check something. But it's not taking up that space.
A whole bunch of space by getting rid of my videos.
Yeah, and that's all your duplicates. Something we'll put in the notes. There are a couple different duplicate finders that you can use for Macs and for PCs.
Oh, that's perfect. So you have solutions for both our PC users and our Mac users. I forgot to mention that. That's one of the things I love about April, because you'll meet technology specialists, and usually they're like Mac-based or they're PC. But April works on both. So if you're a Mac user or a PC user, April's your gal.
Yeah, I'll pick PC every day, but I do work on Macs as well. So, but there are some great duplicate finder programs that you install them and run them, and they go through and they find duplicate files, duplicate folders.
I so need that.
And there are some specifically for images.
Oh.
And they're cool because they'll find, let's say, like within 99% accuracy between two images, or even on 97%. If they're pretty close, they'll say, is this duplicate? And you say yes or no.
Definitely need that too.
And that's, when I talk to people about organizing like their files and stuff, I tell them, get everything in one spot. Get all your stuff together and then start organizing. So know what you're working with before you start sorting things out.
A mess.
Yes. Yes.
You've seen my computer.
Yes, I have seen your computer. I've seen worse. True.
Oh, well, that's good.
But and that's the same thing with when you're doing. It can get messy and confusing, like when you're moving between Dropbox or Google Drive or something like that. What did I put in there, and did I move that one already? Right. And how do I take care of that?
Something just fell.
It's like the world just started moving on.
Flossie just came on. She says, "Hi, ladies," and I was going to try to type back to her, but we'll just keep going, April.
And, when you're organizing stuff, so regardless of how you're doing it, if you're like organizing your files and your folders, or maybe you're organizing stuff in Dropbox, there's that old saying that everybody's heard about, you should only touch an item one time.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And it's totally okay if it doesn't happen, because the hardest thing with organizing, and I was going to say making your interns do this, if you're letting your interns do this, the hardest thing is to stay moving. Because when we start sorting files out and moving things, moving emails and stuff, it gets easy to get bogged down and just think about, this email, and that conversation went with this, and I need to save this over here. Right. No, the thing is this an archive email? Is it a reference email? Move it.
Well, that's what, like, can you make sure, like, maybe put that in the notes, like in emails, archive, reference? Because I know with my email, you really helped me organize my email folders, because I had, a list like this long. You can't even see my hands because they're off the screen. And April really helped me wrap my head around a better way to create my folders inside my email.
And that's organizing too. So that's, and I'll put this in there. And that's actually a document I can put a link to, hand out.
Oh, sweet. That'll be great.
I'll put something in there about that. But it's action, reference, and trash. And pretty much any document, any piece of information, any email is going to be an action item that you have to deal with.
Okay.
Like do something about.
Right. You got to reply. You got to send a quote. Something.
You're waiting for something. Or it's a reference item, meaning this is good to know, but nothing has to happen because of this.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah, most of us do. Or it's trash, and most of us have a lot of trash.
Okay. Oh, I don't think I ever empty my trash either.
Okay, that'll be a good start. Go ahead and let them go. If it's important, it'll come back around.
Okay. Oh, Bobby joined. Hi, Bobby. Thanks for joining us tonight. Okay,
Hey.
So that's some email tips. Those are great tips, somewhere for us to start.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's, you didn't get into this mess as much as there's no shaming and judging. You didn't get into this mess in one day.
True.
And so it's not something that you should think you should just sit down and plug away at it until it's finished. It's not going to happen and you're going to go insane.
So do you make folders in your email that say act, and then you put things in there? Because I can't always act on everything that day. Like, do you do that so you keep your inbox clean?
Empty? Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? Empty? I don't know what that is. If I can get it to under 70, 70 is where I'm staying right now with my business account.
See, in my actions, in my emails, if something's going into the action area, it's either take action now, which is like this week.
Right.
Or take action soon, which is probably going to be next week.
Okay.
Take action later, which will be at some point. Or waiting. And waiting is those things that I sent my response and now I'm waiting for you to follow up with.
I have a lot of those too.
Yeah. And that's, when you get down so many emails, you lose them because they fall off the page.
Yes.
And email moves so fast these days. Mm-hmm. I like to tell people anytime you're trying to organize your files or your emails or whatever's, start with the most recent stuff.
Okay.
Rather than saying, well, I need to go back and start at the beginning, which was in 2010, move forward. No, it doesn't matter. That stuff's old. It's not active.
Okay.
Deal with the active stuff first. Then, as you have time, slog through the backlog, which you can probably just dump it all in the folder.
Probably. I'm trying to do that. So Tiffany asks, what type of email interface do you use?
It depends, which everybody hates that answer, but it depends. I use Mac Mail when I'm on the Mac because I need practice. I use web interface for Gmail when I'm on my PC. So I go to the web to check my Gmail.
Oh, okay.
And then when I'm on my desktop computer, I use Outlook.
Holy moly.
So, I use all ways.
I just use standard Gmail, but I don't go to the web.
How do you view your email? Where do you go to look at your email?
Google.
You go to the web.
I do?
Yeah.
No, and on my phone it looks different than it does on my PC. I mean, on my laptop. I don't have a PC.
Yeah. Your phone, you're using some other viewer.
No, it's Google.
The viewer is how you look at the email.
Oh.
So Outlook is a viewer. Mac Mail is a viewer. The Internet is a viewer.
Interesting. Oh,
yeah.
Tiffany has another question. Do you categorize emails outside of folders? What does that mean?
Yes, outside of the folders we talked about.
I guess. Tiffany just said, do you categorize your emails outside of folders?
So I'll answer, and you can tell me, Tiffany, if it's not right.
Oh, she says, Outlook has categories. Making your
I do not. I don't, simply because I'm moving around to so many different email viewers, because I'm on Mac Mail and Outlook and the web. I don't do anything specific just because that doesn't always translate. And in addition, I tend to rely on my folder structure.
Okay. So it's all about the folder structure. Get the folder structure down, and you can organize your email and get down to a very clean inbox. So my goal is to get it down to 10. If I can do that, that would be fabulous. And I think relieve some stress when I open up my email and there's 74 emails.
Well, and when I open up my email, I can see take action, take action, take action, waiting, and then reference. And then, of course, when I open that up, there's my 500 different folders.
Gotcha.
So to speak.
She says, do the folders sync themselves between all of your interfaces?
Yes, because I work through the Google system.
Oh, interesting. So everything funnels through Google?
Yeah, there's a complicated answer, and the short answer is everything goes to the Google house, is where my mail lives, and so each place looks at it differently.
Okay.
But it's always the same thing.
Sweet.
So what I see there is what I see there is what I see there.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's a complicated answer, but
I like the simple answer. If I need to know how to do it, I'm just going to go to you and hire you to do it. I don't need to know the back end stuff. I would just be like, here's my laptop, fix it.
And that's the best thing, is because I could go. That's why I asked you earlier, how long did we have? Because I could talk about this stuff for hours, and a lot of people are just like, no, fix it and give me like the cliff notes, and we're good. That's all I want.
Tiffany said, got it. So you answered her question. Awesome. So I know you had a couple other talking points that you wanted to share. Yeah. So
Let's see. Go ahead.
See. No, so we talked about email, because I know email is critical for all of us. And then you talked about that duplicate finder.
Duplicate checkers.
Yeah, duplicate checkers, which you're going to put in the comments, which is going to be amazing. I'm going to jump on that because I think that is going to give me more space on my computer.
It does. It totally, you'd be surprised how much it frees up.
No, I won't be surprised. I know my computer and myself. I'm going to be like, whoa, I have a new computer.
I think the other big thing is, and it sounds kind of rudimentary, but understand your computer and the system you're working with. Okay. So like on Mac, when I go to save a document on Mac, sometimes it says, here's 4 little places you can save it.
Right.
But there's actually like 500 places I could save it. But if I didn't know how to get to those 500, then I'm just going to save it in some weird random place.
Sometimes I get stuck there because I have a Mac and it only brings up these 4 things. And I'm like, no. I need to get to my folder that says Facebook Live Show. And it doesn't it doesn't allow me to drop down. So I do that. I'll save it in my main Mary Fain Brandt coaching and consulting folder. And then I'll try to go find it, or I'll end up saving it again because I can't find it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of along those lines, is go through stuff regularly. I mean, that's how you stay organized, is by staying on top of it. I mean, how many of us, I shouldn't say us, how many of us have your download folder that's completely full of stuff?
Now, I did just delete it like 2 months ago, and then all of a sudden it's full again because when I open a document, it downloads it, like a PDF and stuff. I'm like, why does it download it automatically? I don't understand that. Why can't I just open it? Is that a Mac thing?
There's further questions with that one.
That's an offline question. I'll come see you at Hub.
That's an offline question, but that's the same sort of thing. Is like the downloads folder is not a dumping ground. It's a temporary way station. Stuff goes in there and it should be leaving there very shortly.
Right. So we need to clean out our download folders and probably empty our trash.
Yes, that would probably help.
We can put these tips below. Like, here's three ways. Like, empty your downloads, empty your trash. I know that's 2 easy things that we could actually do right away.
Exactly. And I had another, and it just completely slipped out of my brain.
The train will come back around. That's what my friend says.
It certainly will. They do a little bit at a time, stay up on it, be current, and just think about what you're doing.
Right.
Did I save this? Maybe I give it a different name. If I call it new document number 12, can I find it again?
Right.
No, probably not so much. Sometimes it's just taking that little bit extra time.
Okay, Tiffany's like our really engaged
viewer down.
Is there a way to automate emptying the recycle bin or the download file? Ooh. I'm sure there is.
Yes,
you can set that up.
Yeah, there should be a way to do it. I think Mac has an automatic, after X number of days, things will go away.
Or you can choose never, and I'm pretty sure mine's set to never, which is one of my issues. Because I'm afraid to have anything gone forever.
Yeah. And there's probably a setting somewhere. It'd just be a question of looking at your system and figuring out exactly where that was. But just like with email can be auto-deleted.
Right. Right.
There should be some sort of aspect with that with files. I would say trash, you're more likely to see that than downloads.
Oh, okay.
Downloads, you're not as likely to see that sort of automatic action.
Okay. So would that be in our settings, you think?
Yeah.
Settings? Okay.
Yeah, that's something that all my clients have seen me Google stuff. That's something that I would Google and we would figure that one out.
Okay.
Definitely. And I remember Sherry had a question.
Yes.
Sherry was nice enough
Sherry
to give us
Snow
an
White
earlier
submitted
question.
her question ahead of time. You go, girl.
She go, and she gave us a fabulous, long, involved question, and I told Mary that there's a lot of other questions that need to be asked. But the short answer is some of us work with companies and corporations, and like Mary, you were saying, you work with the bank, and they don't allow you to use Google Drive for work documents,
and I hate that.
or you can't use a USB drive, or whatever. And a lot of times, if that's the case, if they're not letting you use those cloud storage or those external storage options, it's really on them to provide a way for you to use remote storage. You know, SharePoint, I think we talked about, you were getting into the bank.
So excited. I can't wait. Like, I actually have to, like, dive in there and start figuring out what I want my section to look like.
Yeah.
You know, what, I don't even know what it looks like, but the folders, like the org chart's going to live there, the phone list, we will no longer have a printed phone list. We no longer have a printed organizational chart. That will all be automatic. I'm like, yes! I'm like so happy about that. So I think you were saying with Sherry, because Sherry works in with a medical company, and so the HIPAA rules and stuff, they can't share or they can't use Google Drive, they can't use a flash drive. So really, and she works remotely, so she needs to be able to access documents and presentations and maybe client information. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. But so SharePoint would be a solution for her company.
Yes, solution for a company. And the company may have ways right now that do remote desktop or, you know, logging in virtually that are secure enough for what she wants. But it's a question of what are they going to provide. Okay. And that actually, go ahead, you go first.
No, I was going to say, and Sherry's not on tonight, so Sherry, if you're watching the replay, and hopefully we get your question answered. If we haven't, you know, I want you to reach out to April and set up a phone call with her. Okay.
Yep, we can do that. And that reminded me, I work a lot with small businesses that are individuals, so solopreneurs. But yes, for you, for example. But when you're working with more than one person, and you're sharing files or you're sharing an email system, there needs to be some agreement about who moves files, who names files, how are they named. Because I talked with a gentleman the other day, he says, well, my partner does things this way and he thinks that's the best way ever, but I want to do things this way. Well, if you're sharing the files, somebody's going to have to compromise. And so anytime you get more than one person involved in files or sharing or organizing, you kind of need to get everybody's input in terms of what to call
all on board, right?
Yeah,
and maybe have a master strategy of how things are going to be stored, right?
Yep.
What's going to live where? Because otherwise, if you have two or more individuals working for the same company and sharing the files, you're going to have duplicates, and you're going to have things in areas that you just don't belong. That makes sense.
You can even go further than that. I've, for a company that I worked with, we did folder structure, yes, but then we did naming conventions. So it was a CPA. All files need to be last name, comma, first initial, ampersand, last name, comma, first initial,
so
and then what have you. And so that everybody named things the same way and it all showed up the same way again. It's easy, it's quick. You can get to the stuff you need to without a whole lot of work, which is really the goal of doing organizing.
That's a good tip. Thank you.
That's really why we organize. Not everybody is like me. I could organize my files, and I do on the weekend for fun. I know not everybody does that. So
fun. Well, I'm having a meeting with interns on Saturday, so I think that's going to be fun and fabulous.
Yeah, that should be. Everybody has different things that make them happy.
Well, thanks so much for joining me tonight, April, and thank you to all the viewers that joined and all the replayers. You know what, like I said at the beginning, type replay, type your questions in, because April and I are going to go back, we're going to check the comments, and we're going to engage with you, and we're going to answer your questions, and I love January. It's January 3rd, so this is the time. Let's get digitally organized. I know photos and videos and downloads and trash are my culprits, and I'm going to work on cleaning those up. And I think April is a member of Harahub here in San Diego, but she also has a special for the viewers. And we're going to post, I'm going to let her tell you the special, but we're actually going to post it at the end of this broadcast, so you can go on back to this broadcast and you can see her post with her special. But if you want to tell the viewers a little bit about your special and how they can contact you.
One of the things I do, obviously digital organizing, but I do a little bit of troubleshooting for technology as well. Like Mary said, I have all these email accounts. How do I get them down to one?
Right.
And so I offer tech troubleshooting sessions, which are just a quick half an hour. You come in, you have a problem, we sit down, we try to figure it out. If we can't figure it out, I get back to you with an answer. And those are normally $35 for 30 minutes, and I'm doing $5 off.
Oh, thanks.
As fun, which as long as you can make your appointment, schedule your appointment by Sunday, I think I said, you can take the appointment, I don't know, in the next month or so, but as long as you schedule it by then.
Okay, so it just need to be scheduled and paid for by this Sunday, but you don't actually have to have or hold your appointment by Sunday. I just want to make that clear. So jump on her special now, but you have up to 30 days to act on it, per se.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome.
And the best way to get a hold of me, obviously, if I haven't already met you and we don't know each other, you can hop on my website and contact me. I will put contact information in the post too.
And I think it's in the event too. So if you're looking to contact April, just go to the event here and all the information, I believe all her website, phone number, whatever email that you wanted, it's all listed right there. But April can go in and drop it in the comments here too, just to make it easier.
Yeah, we can do that. And the Art of Inbox Management sheet, I will figure out a link and get that up ideally before the end of tonight.
Fabulous. I really appreciate that. Thanks for offering so much to the clients and our audience tonight. And if you're looking to really level up your game on LinkedIn in 2018, my monthly LinkedIn Labs are back. We took December off, but we have our LinkedIn Lab is going to be January 24th, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. at Harahub in Mission Valley. And this is a hands-on lab. You bring your laptop. It's 2 hours of getting stuff done, and everybody leaves with an improved profile, a stronger connection. You kind of leave with a game plan. I do a quick tutorial at the beginning. So I have two things I'm going to teach you this month. One, how to back up your data, because you always need to back up your data, right?
Absolutely.
And you own everything on LinkedIn. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy to do that, and probably go over a new feature that LinkedIn has. And then it's all about you guys, and we get down and dirty, and you start working on your profile, and I actually hold you accountable. I'm going to write your name on a board and write down what you're supposed to be working on. There's no Facebook allowed in my LinkedIn Labs. It's LinkedIn only, because I want you to succeed. I want you to get your work done on LinkedIn. So if you're interested in that, the events, the LinkedIn Lab events are posted here on my Facebook page and on my website, and they're $49 for 2 hours of get it done work. So I hope to see you at one of the labs, and I hope to see you here on the third Wednesday of this month. My Facebook live show will be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I have another guest coming on, another expert. I'm confirming who, but I'm going to tell you, you don't want to miss it. Thank you, April, for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. My